What up, my glib globs? Eric here, and today I'm going with the um, finale of season 5. I'm going to be reviewing Rick and Morty season 5, episodes 1 through 10. On a purely enjoyment level, there's definitely different avenues that one could go to seek theories, uh, all time. There's so much talk out there about what's going on in the show, and I figured why not, change the scenery here, change the background a little bit, and just just throw my opinion out into the ether, give my enjoyment, how much, my enjoyment levels of it, how much I enjoyed it or didn't, and that's what I'm here to do. So, without further ado, I have the list of episodes on my phone because it's been a while since episode 1 came out, especially after that 1 month or 3 week hiatus for the finale. So it's been a while, and I'm not a diehard fan of any means. I love the show, I love the show, but I'm not huge. Like I don't research all the theories or dive deep into the everything. Just like I'm a casual fan. So from with that perspective, episode 1, oh man, it just recently I got to scroll back down. Episode 1, Morton. Okay, they had the Rick's arch nemesis. And unfortunately, I don't remember his name. If you do, kudos. It's been a while. That one was for coming back, that was a good episode. I enjoyed it. The main aspect that I enjoyed in that episode was Morty's storyline. The idea of throwing booze or whiskey in a different dimension to age it when that dimension ages faster. Maybe I guess that would be right. I don't even know, relative to time. It has a faster time to it, and so the whiskey was able to age. But every time, like that was so fun. Like that was so good. Every time, oh, my nose is congested a little bit. Every time Morty would go back in there, another, the guys, the father who came out of the world died, so he go back. There's a son, and just slowly this whole entire world of people just utterly despised and see Morty as just a pure villain, and he just all he wanted was whiskey for the Neptune, King Neptune or whatever. The was it King, not King Neptune. Oh, my memory's so bad. Not Aquaman. King Atlant, nah, whatever. Maybe King Neptune. I don't even remember. I really don't. Now it's gonna really. I hate googling this right here, but um, I'm not very good at. Well, I kind of suck at googling. Quickly. I mean, obviously, I could take my time, but um, yeah. King was it King? King of the Ocean. Mr. Nimbus. Who's also in control of the police. Like, I guess that was from something. I don't know. It seemed very random to me. I think that was. I think the show is so well done. They pull so many references from everywhere. I mean, unless I would at the time look up each episode and find out little tidbits, and then I would soak them up, and then a couple days later wring out the sponge. That done. Like I have done forgotten that. But Mr. Nimbus, yeah. So, but Morty's storyline is what I've really focused on, and just him at the end just going ham and just messing them up at the end, and then just getting saved by Mr. Nimbus at the end. So yeah, that was an enjoyable episode to say the least. A good start. I don't know if it was as good as I don't think it was nearly as good as season four's Mr. Shoney's. And then obviously there's the canonical aspect of the season four first episode. You finding out a little bit about Rick's backstory, and that's always a plus. Um, for enjoyment, yeah, I mean it's always interesting to find out about the world, to find out real hard facts and history about the characters that you're invested in. After what did I just see today? 8 years. This show's been going on for 8 years. That's hard to believe. I think I got into it in season two or three. I think the end of two. But that so the canon, those storylines always are, I don't know, say well, are well done and just kind of always mean a little bit more to me anyway. But I love the episodic format. I love going on adventures with whoever in the story and being done, and then the next episode picking up at a totally different with a totally different new story and maybe a little bit of reference to the last story, but no overarching themes or overarching lore. Those are always I enjoy them. I enjoy, like I hope it does. It'd be awesome to if it gets stale, it wouldn't be awesome. But 100 years of Rick and Morty, and you can't, you without the episode, you couldn't have that. So let's see, episode two. Oh, now I gotta go back. More to Mortiplicity. Oh, that's the one where decoy. Yeah, yeah. That one had me lost and amounted to nothing until the very end of that, when every one of them was a total fake, but you had no idea. Uh, that one, I thought that was a fun idea to me. And then at the very end, you get, what was it? They can't. Um, a decoy won't go out into space for any reason, and then the episode, or the last scene of that episode, they all come back with Galactic Beth, or whatever, Clone Beth, or whoever she is, which I guess that was the end of that. I don't know. I mean, we had the Star Wars fight with her, and then she went off back into space, I guess, in season four. But I, I don't know if memory serves. I thought there was going to be more to that. Um, I guess not. I mean, I guess that was that was it. They keep in touch. Rick keeps in touch with both his daughters now, and has, goes on adventures with them. Who knows? But that one was a fun one. I love the Muppet part at the end, and that nasty, um, I don't even know, nasty, just horrible looking Rick. That peels the skin off of the decoys. Like that was messed up. That they went there. That was pretty twisted. But it was, I mean, that whole that was, it just made for a fun episode for me. Give it a couple months, I probably won't remember much about it, so I'll be able to rewatch it. Easy peasy. Moving on to episode, not much to say about that one. Episode three, and of course, I don't remember the finer details. I have like a couple notes on on episode nine, and then I stopped taking notes. So the little finer thing, I can remember overarching story of an episode. Rick, oh yeah, Captain, Green Woman. I don't even what Captain America, Captain Planet, Captain. Planetaria. Yeah, we'll get there eventually. Miss Planetaria. I don't remember, but him, having a relationship with her and her breaking free of, that was a wild idea. I never thought, Captain Planet. I vaguely was into those cartoons, and it never occurred to me like, what an idea. Where do they come up with these ideas? Like, what a heck of a writer room they have. But I never would have thought that, 20 years later that she would be trapped, for marketing purposes to make the kids a buttload of money. Like that was cool. And then, Morty straight up just doing what he does best recently and just being top dog right below Rick, but just being top dog and just slaughtering. I mean, I love that Morty is growing, I don't know, mentally, but just stronger. Like he doesn't take anyone's smack, and I mean, he's not afraid to kill, like when he wants to, and he just just doesn't care anymore. He's seen his own body in the backyard, which was one of the bigger moments, and he's to them killing somebody who's hurting his potential um, love is just nothing, and he just the way he wielded them rings. I mean, we could get a whole episode on just that Avatar style, just doing whatever. I don't know, conquering. Maybe someone else gets the fire ring, and it's all about that or something. But I enjoyed that, and then of course the ending. Him. Oh my god, this is gonna be a super long video. I just looked at the time. Him in the end, like losing that love interest because she's going on the deep end, like environmental anarchy, like just Unabomber stuff here, and she's going on the deep end, so he was forced to end that, and that was such a good those tearjerker moments. I feel like are not they're few and far between, and when they are, they hit hard, and that did. Like you really felt Morty's pain, and then that song. I don't even remember the song, but the song. Oh, good. That was good. Moving on. Episode 4. I'm not. I'm not. I've come to realize I'm not. Well, enjoyment. This is all that. But for like critical reviews, this ain't it. I think I enjoy mostly what I watch or consume. Because if I do watch stuff based on the ratings, so if I don't enjoy it or if I don't think it's gonna be good or I hear that it's not, no, I'm not gonna waste my time. But loving Rick and Morty for as long as for being in it for however long, 4 years. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of bad to say about it. I may have a couple little things. I'll maybe put that at the end. Nothing, nothing really though. So 4, what was 4? Oh, the turkey. Yeah, I enjoyed this episode. Um, Rick, you always wonder how does Rick kind of get out of trouble, and they brought the president back, which was cool. I do. They've got such a wide cast of characters, and I feel like this year or this season they've kind of taken a step back from that. I don't like, you don't see the the teacher anymore or the principal. I don't think you did very much. I don't have like that much of a role. I don't even know if Jessica had that much of a role. Behind the scenes moment there, and I it. So I don't know. I don't even remember all the other side characters, but even like this season, I kind of feel like the rest of the family took a back seat. That might just be me. I mean, they definitely did kind of have their episodes, and maybe that's how it's always been. But I don't know. I mean, Beth. Well, I guess Beth kind of definitely took a back seat. I feel like, and Jerry, he didn't really get like a whole lot of focus like they did in the first couple of seasons. But that's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes you just got to focus on certain, Morty and focus on their relationship to to build this whole season. But the turkey thing, them going being like this. I love Rick's elaborate plan. Like he's got such the most elaborate plans in order to get get away with anything and make himself better off. And this one was so like turning himself into a turkey. He had the whole thing planned, and then the president, meanwhile, is talking about his plan to override what we just heard Rick is going to do. And then Rick next scene saying, "Yeah, but he's probably going to be thinking like this, so we're going to do this." And then the president, "Yeah, well, we know he's going to, he's going to try to commandeer our soldiers and turn, and take the, and then just it kind of what was the one the heist, kind of like the heist episode. They just kept trying to. I think that's a decent comparison. Just outdo each other at least at the end. With all their heisting. So that's what this kind of reminded me of. But him turning into a turkey, and then the president, he was no longer. Um, they were able to track him, so and then the whole like turkeys taking over, and the whole like pilgrim and Indians. I don't even remember what it was. So don't quote me on that. But that whole like godly power, ancient civilization powers. I mean, I guess you had to fill the rest of the episode in. I preferred just like these huge, elaborate turkey getting pardoned because you're the turkey he pardoned, and then oh, I'm Rick. Hey, you pardoned me. We're good. That whole story was phenomenal. And moving on. See what do we got? What are we on? 4, 5. And Morty can graffiti. That's when Summer and Morty steal Rick's car to impress a new kid. Um, I kind of remember this new kid who turned out, I remember him getting teased at the end. I don't remember much about him. All I remember is the pinhead sadist. I mean, that was awesome. I love that. And like, I'm a huge, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, wow, this is tricky. Somewhere in here, but I guess I got the Berserk anime, and I love like that whole where Berserk got its references, and this Pinhead, and then this whole aesthetic, like that was so cool. I really enjoyed that, and him trying to pay a debt by using Jerry, his cringe as them, how they fill it up, but their designs, like their face stretched out, and with held together with clothespins, and all the I mean, that was cool. I enjoyed that. And then Rick at the end coming up with I think it was like a philosophical gun where he made them find happiness or sadness in pain or something. It was it kind of went out there, but in terms of in terms of like an episode, yeah, I'd rewatch it again for sure. Um, I very much. I mean, that one was I just like the aesthetic, and then once again Rick unabashedly just doing anything he can to help himself. I mean, unbelievably selfish, and it was a stellar. And I don't remember Morty's. Oh wait, him and Summer took some trying to make some kid. I think they went to outer space, and I think there was some uh, Rick's saucer moments. I think. Don't don't quote me on that. I can't remember what they did in the car. Didn't they like go to Morty wanted to be right and like go to prison, and then he escaped with the car's help because the car, I was right, this is what, listen to me type thing. I think something along them lines. I mean, it was good. I'll have to watch it. I mean, really. So let's see, 6. Oh my God, I went out of order. What was 4? Rick Pendant's spray? Oh, you guys are gonna be watching this. What is he talking about? Episode 4 is the sperm one. This dude has lost it. Well, I hope you watch it long enough to realize that I did uh, notice. So you'll switcheroo here. Episode 4, we'll just go back in time a little bit. Episode 4 was the sperm one. It's probably why I forgot it. I mean, really? uh, the sperm one, there was a lot of hate for that. Like I was, again, I read it, and I like to I read some comments, and I'll read other people's opinions on an episode. Or a lot of times, people like point out stuff I have totally missed because I don't look super deep into things. They will point out the references that I've missed, and that that's why I really read that stuff. Is some people just are just so acutely aware, to what's going on and how. Oh wait, this scene was in episode 2, or this character was in the first season. Oh, like and I miss that all the time. So I usually have to ask for help, from other people's their own thoughts to see something I've missed. So reading on episode 4, that sperm episode, oh my lord, the hate. And then you got to hand it to the creators at whatever episode Voltron. They doubled down on the incest, baby. I mean, they must have, like, the foresight. They knew that was going to be unquestionable. Like, they were just going to have so much hate, and they doubled down. You got to give it to them. And all the writers in that little snippet you can see at the end, or like on YouTube, you can see, like the insider commentary from the creators, and they just brought, everyone couldn't believe the sperm episode was even made. it I mean, the whole lady sperm, I think, is what it was. That was a little creepy. That kind of creeped me. I mean, that was a little disgusting, but I know some people will never watch this episode again. Probably like the slave dragons or sex dragons or whatever. I don't remember, pleasure dragons. And I think I've seen that episode twice. And I mean, I'd probably go back and rewatch this one. Not like I will the Meeseeks one, or some of the further back ones, but I might eventually revisit it. The ending, like Rick having a horse baby, and then it, getting up, and you didn't actually, him fretting for a second, and then I can't remember at the end there was something about a button. He pressed a button, a gag, and I'm okay. That whole episode was going that way with that humor, so just throw that in there. Maybe that was like a slapstick gag if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I mean that episode was okay. I mean that was all right. Yeah, I mean, oh, I'm still working on it, but here's my enjoyment scale. Obviously, I enjoyed it immensely, and not at all. Oh, sounds like the washer. If you hear that, it's the washer going crazy. So I mean, it was probably, I didn't hate it. This is very tricky. I mean, that's probably down in here, whatever, down in here. I mean, for future, like episode 10. I mean, episode 10 was up there. Episode 10. Anyways, so 4, nothing to talk about because no one probably even wants to hear about it. So we're gonna go to 4. 7's the next number, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 7, according to my counting. Let's see. 7 is the Voltron one. I've never seen Voltron, but I liked how they, Rick had these ferret Voltrons, and he's like, "Oh man, we got to show them individually how super weak we are, and then we'll team up." Like I love that, like Power Rangers. Like I didn't watch Power Rangers either, and yeah, never my thing, ever. No, but I know of it. and his just let's attack him individually first, and then have to get that out of the way, and then they team up, and then of course him becoming obsessed with Voltrons and collecting or Ferrotrons and collecting them, and then like talking to all the dimensions and having that mafia or Godfather scene with the Dons or whatever they were, and them all collecting it and just going, I don't even remember how many 5 or 6 different combinations they had of Ferrotrons, but that was enjoyable. And then Summer, yeah, like I said, I don't think she really didn't get a whole huge spotlight this season, which is kind of her moments are incredible. I mean, whenever she does have them, they're just immensely enjoyable. The one where her and the ship and just the ship protecting her, protect Summer. Those moments are always so well, and then her just going off the absolute deep end to do anything to be on an adventure, to be close to Rick and be on an adventure with Rick and enabling him with, I think it was powder or something she was giving him. But that, like, those moments, when they come, they're incredible. Usually they're really good. They kind of give Summer, she kind of, I don't know, not a bad rap, but there we go. She, maybe, she kind of, like F Summer, or I don't know. I wish she would be a little bit, not as much as Morty, because Morty's Morty, but be a little bit more involved. Maybe because she just has so many good moments. Oh, she did have the one. Oh, you know what? Where she went to. That might be another episode. Maybe that's episode 8. Let's see, 7. Uh, I don't. I don't know what episode it is where she goes to different dying planets with Rick and he parties. Was it that one? Because she keeps enabling him. I don't remember being connected to the Volt. Man, no, I don't know. I think that's in there somewhere. I hope if you know what I'm talking about. But that was another moment where I'm working graffiti. Maybe it was the cap. I don't remember. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I just that moment. Um, Man, I look up one thing and I'm lost here. And a family becomes a family. The family. Okay. So, oh yeah, the Voltron thing. That's what I make these for. So, and then in the end, like, I guess Rick, did he clean himself off? I don't know. I don't have to rewatch it. I mean, it was okay. I mean, where's the scale here? I'd probably put it. I'd probably put it like down in here. Nothing crazy. Kind of. Yeah, I'd watch it again. Maybe I'd take a couple more times to remember it. So let's see, 8. Oh yeah, the Rick Turtle friendship. Oh, 8. Before we were gonna get 9 and 10. I mean, even still, eight's eight's up here. Like, are you kidding me? Like, eight's that whole Rick's background and that synth wave song we get. So he's going back. He's going into Bird Person's mind, Bird Person's mind to kind of help, because he's still Phoenix Person and he's trying to bring his friend back, who he is. It's like a one-sided relationship here, but he's trying to bring his friend back, so he has to go through his mind and traverse all Bird Person's memories of Rick and what Bird Person remembers, and then you get the battle of whatever that big battle was, and little tidbits of information on Rick's past and that battle. Oh man, I wish I could remember it. But that song, I have watched that scene a dozen times, and that song was so awesome. That was so. I mean, because you've heard about this this war that he was in for little tidbits. When he was at the wedding and all these little instances where you heard about they really just led you on with these little tidbits of information here of Rick's past, and how he became who he is, and then you see him younger going through all these, wanting to be, this is our Vietnam, and wanting to do all that stuff. And and the whole reason the war was bad, finding out about Gear Man, or well, I don't remember, Gear Gear Person's older brother, like all these like little tidbits. We finally see it. Battle of something. I'll never remember that. And that, I mean, I like from that episode. That was just absolutely my favorite part. And then I guess at the very super very end. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about like the after credits things. I'm gonna just put that in here real quick. The one with Jerry, living a life of with the puppet, where he's a puppet. The decoy one, that ending. I mean, there's no words for that. Like really incredible. I mean, it was just top tier writing. Like that was just there was so much conveyed without words, just music and visuals, and it hit so hard. And then, there was another one, the Voltron one, where the bugs. All right, let's all go out there, and hopefully we still have our clothes, and we're gonna tell them that we've got the cure for cancer or AIDS or something. We've got the cure, and we're gonna give it to them. And the next year, the kaiju are attacking. So that's where the monsters come from, and they've got the cure to cancer. I'm like that was perfect. Those ending clips are just fantastic. So the the bird person one, you find out what his daughter looks like, and she's a hellion for sure. So that's going to be interesting getting to that. Just I guess I don't even know what Morty did, and I don't even know if Morty and Summer and any of them were in that episode because I don't know. I had no idea. Just know that that I think a lot of it was the battle of, I don't even know the Google here. Uh, Rick and Morty battle. Rick and Morty battle of something. Battle of Blood Ridge. That's right. We first that might be top five moment. I mean, that moment was just so emotional. And then the whole reason that it was bad, like you heard in the wedding, the whole reason it was bad was because just how Bird Person didn't want to go on interdimensional adventures with them. Like, no, I'm not into you. Like, you're into me. Like that's not. You're not that much of a friend. Like, whoa, whoa, Rick got. Oh, man, it makes sense why he's the way he is now. Holy cow, your best friend like utterly just shuns you. Like, doesn't think of you as you think of him. Oh, those are tough. Moving on because this video's getting very long. Episode 9. I should know this one. I just watched it. These are the ones my notes are on. Morty is using interdimensional fluid, which is incredible. He's using the portal gun. I mean, that was a question. We've not seen that for so long. And then, they finally bring it back, and Morty's using the portal gun to fix all their mistakes. Are you kidding me? We could see so much more of that. Oh, look, all the stuff, they just leave wherever, in any world they're at, and just decimate. I mean, anywhere they go, they leave wreckage. And we see that. And Morty, the kind soul that he is, still is cleaning it up. And yeah, he could have admitted to Rick probably, but everyone, Rick would have just thrown a fit, an absolute I'm sure, put him, probably we probably would have gotten that spinning game no matter what. So Morty doing, getting the portal on his hand and believing a psychopath, and Rick and his two crows adventure. If I'd not known there was another episode, I would have believed Rick was legitimately going to leave with two crows because they were really having the adventure of a lifetime here. I didn't so much care for the anime intro or the anime intro of the two crows. I was What was this episode for? Oh yeah, it. I mean, it was alright. Like I'm not huge on like the anime aspect of it when they interject it because they just go like above and beyond design, and it just I can't say anything with the Voltron thing. I kind of wish they'd stick more to the look and feel of Rick and Morty, but whatever. That's just my opinion. So yeah, Rick going on them adventures with two crows, and then what was it? Morty cutting off his hand. Like the dude has conviction, and we've seen that this whole like he is not afraid to do what needs to be done, and I love it. I hope we see more of it. I hope we see Morty get stronger in that regard. The night, oh yeah, the ending song. I'm gonna have to rewatch that. I don't remember it, but I remember thinking this is nice. The two crows, he's gone off. He's off onto bigger and better things with two unbelievable crows who have the emotional empathy that Morty does and don't talk back. This is it. Rick and two crows forever. I could see it. 100 years. Rick and two crows. um. Uh. Oh yeah. Oh okay. So and then the very you see like garbage goober. Dude, I love garbage goober. Like that was. I love trash, 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 trash. I love trash. And what a yeah. Speaking of ending scenes, the very end scene. You know, I can't remember what they call him, Eustace, or I don't remember. Are you going back out there? Just heard the wife just. You didn't come here to. You came here to be his next partner. You didn't come here to just eat trash and summer garbage goober. We've got trash and I love trash. And those moments are so good. Seeing the other lives of other characters, the other monster, anything, just seeing like the behind the scenes of this gag, and this emotional depth that they put into this character over whatever's, it's just that they give the garbage goober was very dynamic. I mean, you found out just that little bit, and they really do put a lot into their character. Rick and the creator Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. Didn't even have to look it up. They really put a lot of thought into them. So of course this video is long as heck. Episode 10. Samurai Rick Mirai Jack. I was particularly looking forward to this once I found out the title, not just because it was episode 10, but I love Samurai Jack. Like that is my jam right there. Samurai Jack is phenomenal. I love the aesthetic, the lack of dialogue, the quietness. You could just read the scene with just two characters just on the precipice of fighting, or him looking out over a field of fire, or there's so much storytelling in Samurai Jack that doesn't require dialogue. And then you got the first scene, the Scottish guy. That first episode just, I mean, I'm on a tangent, on offside here, but that first episode where they're on the bridge and he calls him blubbering, gets into this huge monologue of you nilly maggot. That might be the best moment. Like that is, I was crying. You know, I, that was such a. I've watched that scene another 2 dozen times. Just that on YouTube, that clip. Oh Lord, that was all this stuff. Okay, So that in mind, I was really looking forward to this. I, finding out what the whole episode was about, up here. I mean, let me just sink that down here. I mean, dude, this episode was phenomenal. I was a little not unsatisfied, depressed, or nothing to that degree, but just disappointed. A really lesser version of disappointment that it wasn't a straight up Samurai Jack episode. Like they had a little moment where he's with the two crows and they got that little bit of aesthetic, and then they do the anime stuff. I mean, it was I didn't really care for that. So, but Morty doing so then Morty comes in doing anything he can to get Rick back. Truly, truly does not want him gone. And then aging himself um to some. I thought that was like, what was it, like a South Park episode where he bought an actor to, oh, don't do drugs. Here's what you're gonna look like here's your future self. That's what it reminded me. And I thought, oh, okay, Morty's he's gotten someone older, a paid actor or something. No, he gave himself some serum and aged himself. Did some old guy buy a Molly for Summer and her friends? Like, I loved it. And then the only reason Rick coming back is because the two crows left him, like just like Morty did. The I guess I would be right, but that similarity, they had to take a break from Scarecrow, but they went back. So he went back to Morty, and there was so much to unpack in this episode. I couldn't begin to, uh, I couldn't even begin to do it justice. But enjoyment level through I mean, unbelievable. I mean, on par for me with that last episode of season 3 with the different, everyone out. There's corn. Or the everything's made of corn on the everything's made on the cob. Everything's on the cob. Everyone back in the ship. That whole thing. But going to different worlds, I love going to different worlds. Like that is my jam. I vibe with I vibe with that. I jibe. I jibe with that. That's what I was looking for. That was my jam. So this one was just, I mean, they just continually outdo the canons, the continuous A story throughout. They just, I mean, I thought the bird person episode you found out a lot, but I mean, they just went so hard, and he's like, oh, he got another. Here, I can't remember what they said. Got another Citadel episode or something, and they writers continually poke fun at the fan base for being so into Morty, evil Morty, and all these things, and it ends up, Morty just went out of the system. It's as simple as that. I mean, he's willing to kill millions of Rick and Mortys so he can just be out of the system. And that it's simplified as so. What a character! I mean, who would have thought he went through all these torturing of Mortys and Ricks and to get information and everything, all to just leave. So I pray we absolutely get more of that and what the world looks like when Rick is not at the top. That will be interesting. But the whole, I'm gonna have to rewatch that again. I mean, it was just a huge montage of Rick's past, and with the thing with his wife and Beth Don, that was real, and just his utter hunt for the person who did it. And I absolutely hope I'm sure we'll get more of that. Where's this guy at? I hope we do. I don't know. Whatever the writers, whatever the writers and creators give me, I'm going to be happy with. So far, obviously, you're going to have episodes that are, give it whatever, but they do, like, you can't have an entire show that's dedicated to arcing canological story. You just, this, whatever the word is, but it would be just so packed. We get these like little episodic moments with these characters that's unrelated to well, not unrelated, but we just get to all their adventures, and that's why I just love this show. Is just so good. It's so good, really. So, what I'll probably maybe watch this review again before season 6, whenever that comes around, 6 months to 2 years. But I'm gonna have to find something else in the meantime. So that's my take on things. Hope you enjoyed or not, and that's all I got. Put that back.